LarryBeats. It's the juice, yeah, you know the juice. It's the juice. Whoa, I said the juice. From the music that they playing, different artists you can hear them tell their stories through the answers given in the interviews. It's the juice. Whoa, I said the juice. It's the
Welcome
juice.
to the new show, host MelodyWaters. I'm here with some very dope guest panelists today. I have in the house, I have Chosko with me. I have Yooda, I have TellDouble, and I have Jiccarra Hollman. So I am so happy to have all y'all here with me today. Thank you so much for joining. And happy Father's Day to the gentlemen. Just want to give you guys a shout out. And
thank you
as well to all of you. Thank you guys for joining me on your day, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, no doubt. You already know it. We're here for you. We glad the juice is back in action. We need the juice.
Yeah, Juice is happy to be here too, man. Juice is really happy to be here with y'all, and I love seeing all your beautiful smiling faces today. So definitely grateful to have all of you here with me. I want to give you guys each a little bit of time to kind of just tell us a little bit about who you are, in case no one's ever heard of you, or maybe they don't know a lot about you if they have heard of you. Just kind of give us, insight of who is each person. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Yooda. You're up on top on my screen. So Yooda, start. Who is Yooda?
What's up, everybody? I'm Yooda, artist from Miami-Dade.
Hey, what's going on?
Appreciate it. I've been doing music since 2004. Been traveling everywhere doing shows. I did actually 3 shows up in Minnesota, thanks to actually the juice, because that's how it all happened. And outside of the country, just grinding, just trying to leave my mark on the music business.
That's dope.
What city?
I'm sorry, I hear you.
Where are you from?
Miami.
Oh, Miami. Okay, then. Wait.
Dope. Jiccarra, go ahead and tell us, who is Jiccarra N. Hollman?
Thank you for saying the N, because I was about to say it's Jiccarra N. Hollman, like Weezy F Baby or Taraji P.
Baby.
Weezy F.
It's important. So I am Jiccarra N. Hollman. I am founder, CEO of Living on Purpose. It's a women's transitions and sober home. I am founder and CEO of News on Purpose. It's a platform that have just begun, and it is gaining in support. And we're going to talk about it a little bit more, or actually I am, because it's everything that I stand for at this point, because I do believe it is important for our Black and brown bodies to tell the stories by the Black and brown bodies. Like, we definitely have to write our own narrative. I'm an actress. I am, as I shared before, I'm a whole personality, baby. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm a vibe as well. I'm an internationally published model, and most honorably, I am the captain. I'm sure I missed something, but I do a little bit of everything.
I love it. Yes, Jiccarra N. Hollman. She is definitely a vibe, you guys, and she's amazing. So can't wait. I'm so happy to have you here with me. Thank you so much for joining. Who is TellDouble? I see you say you're Martell.
Yeah, that's my government.
You put the government out there like that?
Yeah, that's, I guess, the Zoom. I don't, with the Zoom, I guess I put my real name or something on there. But yeah, my government is Martell Evers, but my brand is TellDouble. I'm originally from Northside, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I moved to Los Angeles about 7 years ago with my family to pursue music and acting, entertainment. So right now, that's what I do. I've done some cameos, a couple movies. I have my own studio, so I'm do music for other artists. I have my own website where I license my beats, TellDouble.com. Yeah, I do some comedy. I mean, people tell me I'm funny, so I do that as well.
Hey,
Yeah, that's pretty much me though.
that's what's up.
You can Google TellDouble and see all my credits.
Baby.
Google me.
What? Huh? Yeah. You can Google me. That's when you know you're official right there. When you can just Google somebody. But okay, let me see who's this.
I mean, if you
Pop
got
right
a Facebook, you can be Googled.
True.
Huh?
If you got a Facebook, you can be Googled.
Not like me though. I take up like the first 2 pages of Google. So.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, look at you doing big time.
It's somebody.
So there's a difference. Well, I spent a long time building my brand of TellDouble, so I spent my whole life building that brand up. So I feel like it's well deserved. Melody, like that? You like that, Melody?
You only on the first 2 pages, and you've been doing this your whole life. You dedicated your whole entire life to this, but you only on 2 pages. I think you on more than 2 pages then. You probably 10 pages if that's the case, because
probably. I don't know. I only care about the first page, really. I only care about the first. Oh dang.
No.
Sorry, bill collector. Bill collector calling me.
We don't want to talk to them.
Nah. I speak Spanish on them when they call me.
They got people for that though.
I'll be like, buenas caderas. I'll be like, you speak Spanish?
I was about to say something else. Like, you know, when you said bill collector, you meant your baby.
No.
Y'all don't know me like that, so I'm trying in my mind. I'm like,
pay my bills.
Piece or should I hold it in? But
No, you gotta say it. No, my baby mama, she'll pay my bills if that's the case.
You
My baby mama be balling.
So
I'm sorry.
No, that's funny.
Thank you so much for being here. It's really a pleasure to have you here with me today. So I really appreciate you coming through. I know it's early
No problem.
in Cali, so.
Yeah. You said what?
It's early over there in Cali, so.
It's 11. That's normal.
Okay.
I've been up since 6, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And shit. But definitely not leaf.
What's a leaf?
We have Chosko in the house with us today too. Is that how you want me to introduce you, Chosko?
Yeah. I don't even know my name at this point.
With us,
Chosko. We'll go with Chosko. Yeah, I mean, I had to change the name just because to get on Google, like TellDouble, because there's much of the name's already taken away. But yeah, I've been doing music for since 2007 and whatnot. As of late, sort of falling back. I kind of do music in my spare time. Just a new entrepreneur. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, you kind of quiet.
You can hear me?
We can hear you, but it's quiet.
Hold on. I got this on Bluetooth. Let me take a Bluetooth off. How about now? Is it clear?
Ooh, that's nice. Yes, that sounds
okay. All right. Yeah, Chosko. I'm at the same time. Chosko. I've been doing music for since 2007. As of late, just kind of been down and back on the music and whatnot. Getting into some entrepreneurial things and started a company with my soon-to-be wife. We do a beauty shop delivery. Working our way towards a shop next year and everything. So yeah, music and business. That's who I am. I don't really have a face or whatnot on the internet. So I'm just getting out here now as a real estate agent as well. It's kind of everywhere with.
dope. That's what's
dope. That's nice.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have you. Always a supporter too of everything that I do. So I definitely appreciate you being here with me today.
Oh man, you don't even know how much you've supported everything I've done, man. Like, I literally had like my first like real interview with you. It was like an hour long. My first like legit video that wasn't just like me rapping in front of the camera to join with my daughter. Yeah, you supported me heavy. So I always appreciate working with you.
No doubt. No, you know, that's what we're supposed to do. We have to do that with each other. If we don't support one another and we don't look out for each other, who you know, we have to start all money in, no money out. We have to start supporting us as independents and caring about ourselves, because all these big businesses, they don't care about us. None of their money.
Especially now with what is happening with the world, I feel like it's more important to be independent now like than ever.
And intentional.
Huh?
And intentional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Intention is huge. So I just want to thank all of you guys so much for being here. You guys are all great supporters of the Juice and have been around. Jiccarra is not, she's new to the Juice, but she's somebody that I know in acting and whatnot, and someone that I know is on her business. She's really dope. So I'm happy to have her here with us today.
Thank you.
Oh, let's kind of some of these topics, because I'm going to go with ladies first and let you be first, because I think your topic is really important, and starting with your topic kind of will help to, it helps with the rest of the topics. The rest of the topics fall under this umbrella of your topic.
Excuse me, I'm transitioning into the house, so I ain't in the car. So
that's okay. That's okay, Yooda, no problem. So Jiccarra, can you go ahead and start off with yours? You were talking about the Black narrative, and just go ahead and kind of like start with whatever it is that you feel you want to say about this. Your voice is, it's your voice, girl.
Wow. What I got to say is, yes, when Melody asked me what my topic is, I said Black narrative, and Black narrative is imperative. I want us to understand that it is a really interesting space that we are in right now. And every one of us play a part in this specifically. And so with that being said, there's a lot of news media out there. There's a lot of opportunity platforms to, jump on, and not everyone is intentionally, set forth to bring positivity towards you. And I think it should be understood also that, though a lot of people call themselves allies, they're not always there for us with the greatest intention. So for example, honestly and truly, my platform, News on Purpose, it was something that I was actually stewing on. It was something that I had an ideation, and I was working towards it. And when the George Floyd's incident happened, the killing happened, it was imperative to be out there. And so what happened was I went live in that moment, and I realized that there was a need for people to see what was taking place in the effect of things, like in the heat of things, not at 4 o'clock when the news catch it, or 9 o'clock when you get that master piece puzzle together of what's taking place, but the real, raw, uncut information to be shared. And the reason being, and the most important fact of it all, is that, in some retrospect or perspectives, we have a lot of coverage of, people showing the vandalism, the riots, the fights, and the negativity. But what is also important to show is the community, the rebuilding, the donation drives, the diaper drives, the support. They're not showing that. And so I felt that it was imperative that we show all sides. I believe you can tell your story as long as you tell the full story. There's two sides to the story, people say, but what's most important is the full story. And I don't really try and give opinion. I want to give the information so that then you can present it to your life and decide, what sticks and throw away what don't. And so with that being said, I've shared poetry, I've shared words of encouragement, and I've been approached about being on like, you know, mega news platforms like CNN. And I'm thinking, oh, this on one side, I'm like, oh, this could really build my platform as an actress and as someone that just started this news calling. But on another side, I have to remember all of my titles and associations. As I shared, I'm a captain in the Air Force. So I had to take a step back, and I said, you know, I can't sign on to that just yet. I said, let me stay close and listen to your message first. Let me hear your narrative. Let me hear, you know, where you're coming from before I say if this is something that I'm willing to join. And I think that's important. When I go out with my camera, when I'm recording, I make sure to introduce myself. I make sure to let people know where they can find this information. And it's important to know where your face, where your likeness, where your brand will be shown, just so that you're not just putting your face onto someone else's narrative. For example, there's a video where a father shared of two best friends running towards each other. A young American, European American, Caucasian boy, African American young boy was running towards each other, and they embraced in a beautiful hug. You know what happened to that video? The Trump administration took that same video and turned it into a racist narrative, whereas they were saying, oh, the Black boy is running from a racist kid, and that racist kid must be a Trump supporter. And it's just like, how do you take something so beautiful and twist it? And a lot of times that can happen. And so that's why I'm saying the narrative is important, that it be told by our own. Black and brown stories need to be told by Black and brown bodies. And so that's why I started News on Purpose. I don't want to monopolize the conversation, but another reason is it was doing because I believe that a lot of people have gone away from news. A lot of people find that it is depressing and it is oppressive. And the reason being is that if a white cop takes the life of a Black man, the media will cover the Black man's criminal history and background, but would discuss the cops' awards, their merits, how they are so community driven. And that's the only information that we receive, and that's how we're supposed to run and make our decisions based on. And I want to say, no. Let's share also the merits of this young Black man. Let's share him up too. So
there he is.
That we are conscious of our image. It's important that we are conscious of the story that is being shared about us. Because in Minnesota right now, a lot is happening. And outside of Minnesota, people are seeing the news and they're like, oh, Minnesota is doing bad. But we're not. We're recruiting, we're recovering, and we are so ready to buy back the block. And I know everyone is going to do that. So this is a time of rebirth. And that's important to be known. And with that, I'm going to stop talking.
Deep.
Make sure y'all go on Facebook, News on Purpose, YouTube, News on Purpose by Jiccarra. It's a lot right now, but after 2 weeks, I can change the name to just News on Purpose, so it can be easy to be discovered.
News on Purpose is easy to look up.
On Facebook it is, but on YouTube you got to do News on Purpose by and then spell my name.
Oh, okay.
Until I can change it. When you have a new,
and we can't just Google it. We can't Google it.
Google me, baby. I don't know. I'm gonna Google it and find out for you.
I'm gonna Google it too.
Google me.
I think you should be up there.
TellDouble clearly loves Google, okay?
I do. It's so easy, man.
I mean, I'm on Google. I think I got about a good 2-3 pages as well, so I feel you on that.
Oh,
but,
see? So we can find you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that I was on Google until my son Googled me. And he came to me one day and was like, Mom. And he's like flipping through pages showing me all this stuff I didn't even know existed. And he was like, so can I brag that you're my mom? And I was like, hell yeah.
Just make sure you spell my name right when you Google me.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I will.
Don't forget the N, baby, okay?
Yeah, I will.
My Google is hot. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, see?
It's popping.
There you go.
Jiccarra, you said your Google's popping?
My Google is popping.
I ain't say that shit.
Hey.
Hell yeah. So I love that. Does anybody have anything that they want to say and touch on from what you're
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the, I see it as propaganda, what they be spilling, and it's to control their narrative and, get their clickbait because they know the violence sells, the riots and all that type of stuff sells. And like you said, we got to control our own narrative because we got a whole different story out here. And, letting them tell it, they doing it for the purposes of, entertainment, but it's real life out here being lived, things that are being accomplished, being done, uplifting, uprising and whatnot, but they just trying to sell stories, and what sells is violence, is, the negative sells harder than, most positives, and that's why, they got to put the narrative back in our hands and not let them control what our realities are.
Right.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it made, your story made me think of how the news portrays like when Black people like protest, compared to like when white people protest, how they were saying like calling like the Black people like thugs and stuff like that, and like the white people were like, oh, they're passionate, and it's just I feel like it's all the media is always gonna portray like people of like culture and ethnic backgrounds in like any way that they want to because they know they have that power. So it's up to us, with like platforms like these to like take back that power and portray ourselves how how we really want to be portrayed, and not and not let the media just kind of like do whatever.
True.
I think these platforms are winning. I think they're outdated as far as like the news forms, because like when you go down to these things, like on the news, they'll portray like as if only the Black people were writing, as it wasn't a whole mixed crowd of individuals. And they're outdated with that propaganda stuff. It's like when you really down and see what's going on, even the people, whether it's white, whatever, down there, they I think people are realizing like, yo, we're tired of y'all feeding us lies. This is not, 1920 where whatever you say on the news is accurate and 100% true. Although they do have a base that they are reaching, I think the majority of people are beginning to get their news elsewhere, like you said, and realizing like y'all feeding us garbage. We're not buying it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
So much technology nowadays, where like, it can put the power back in the people's hands. And I think that's one thing that they didn't expect is for like technology to be like so powerful how it is right now, like with the internet and like with social media, because you pretty much get all your news now from social media when there used to just be like one station like CNN or something, or like, like ABC News or something like that. But now it's like, 24/7 you can get news around the world.
And they scared of that. That's why they're like banning people's lives. That's why they're fact checking your conversations that you're having, and banning things that you're saying and blocking it off from being viewed. That's censorship, and it's I think it's fear. It's fear on their behalf. Like, yo.
Yeah.
Right. And everything that's going on right now, it's important to understand that there is a difference between protesting and rioting. But see, they merge the two together and they say that the protesters are rioting. But that's not the truth. There's a difference between peaceful demonstrations and just going to tear stuff up. And so I've been out there. This is my city. I have a dedication to serve my country, and I have a dedication to serve my community. And I'm a leader in both platforms, in both worlds. I love living a double life. And the thing to understand, I've been at the protests. I've been at the peaceful demonstrations. But once nightfall, as I shared, those allies are the ones that are coming out crazy. Like, At the protest, we had the leaders in the community stopping it, addressing it on hand when they saw it. And so that should be understood. As somebody mentioned, a lot of those rioters and vandalizers wasn't even from Minnesota.
Yep.
We had big groups here from Chicago that was taking the mice out at the protest, like they was leading everything. And I don't want to say that all groups that was here was on a negative narrative, because there was a group that was here from Virginia that I hung close to the entire week. Their organization is called Violence Intervention and Prevention, and they came and they sat with our freedom riders, and they were at almost every community event. They were at interventions. They were speaking. And so I'm gonna show you the truth on both ends. I'm gonna say that there were out-of-towners here that was tearing up the cities. There was out-of-towners here that was trying to help build the city and understand how can they take what's happening here and go to wherever they're from and bring those resources here to help and create relationships and bonds and connections across the state line. That will only lift us all.
Yeah, we had, I mean, with our protests that we had here, I wasn't able to go out, had some obligations I had to take care of, but a lot of people I know that did go out, they were saying that it was people from out of town that was doing all the tearing up, you know, and then at one point, I think after 2 days of it, the locals here actually started standing in front of stores. Like, nah, y'all keep that moving. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy that, you know, they infiltrate like that and try to, you know, take advantage of a situation that was supposed to be peaceful.
That's another way they sway the narrative. That's just another way that they sway the narrative. And that's another way that they create another division between people.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister, she's a program director in North Minneapolis, and she was saying that they were actually sending like white supremacists, I guess, from like other states and stuff to come in and like torment like the Black community, which is just sad, man. It's like any opportunity, you know, any and every opportunity to, you know, try to torment a community that's already like hurting and suffering. It's just like people have no filter, man, like at all.
And then they leave and leave us to one, take the fall, take the blame, and then two, rebuild what's so what it show is that there were individuals that looked like the man that put his knee on George Floyd's neck. There was individuals that look like that force that continues to put their knee on our neck, that was out there in Black clothing with umbrella, and in a hand, that same hand that they held the umbrella, they had a hammer in that hand and was going into the AutoZone and crushing the windows.
Yeah.
Here's the thing to understand. In South Minneapolis, where that was taking place, that is more of a poor community. There's a lot of tents. That's near Tent City, and there's a lot of tents and there's a lot of low income in the area. So if you for people who don't have anything, and you give them an opportunity and open the doors for them to see these shiny things that they've never had, now they're going to take advantage of having everything that they've never had. So what you don't see is the people that open the doors and busted out the windows, but then what you see is those opportunists that's running in and grabbing and taking, you know. So that's important to recognize and understand. Yes, the white supremacists who were here, it was said that they had booked out a whole entire hotel, and then there was also spotting of igniters that were placed. You hear me?
Man.
That were, so I'm on you. It's important as a homeowner that you're in neighborhood watch groups. It's important as a homeowner that you have community support where people say, hey, this is what I see. Somebody posted in our neighborhood watch group, it said, I was walking my dog and I came across this, and it was a bottle that had some fluid in it, excuse me. that had some fluid in it, and then paper or cloth where you can easily just, all you got to do now is already sitting. It's already set. The bomb is already set. All you got to do is just come past and ignite it.
Right.
And so they
Man.
tore up the community and left us to rebuild it. But us rebuilding it is something that we're taking pride in, because now it's an opportunity for us to take ownership of it.
Yep.
But I'm just saying.
I thought it was planned too.
Huh?
Yeah, I thought that the situation was planned too. But I was looking like when they had first tore the Target building down. You know, I was just talking to my brother about it. I'm like, that don't look like nothing, because at that first night it was a lot of younger cats. To take down the whole Target building looked a little, strange to me personally. I sound like a conspiracy theorist about it, but in the time that it came down and burnt down that fast, and it just seemed a little odd, like somebody. There's certain chemicals that burn at certain degrees. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think the cats weren't coming out there, with these chemicals on. Not just your average person that was coming out there to protest. So it already looked shaky to me from the dump. And I'm like, yo, that, they strategically taking out what they taking out.
Mm-hmm. And when you look at the buildings that were taken out too, like, cause on the south side over in the area you were talking about, Jiccarra, that auto zone and stuff like that. Like, I lived in that neighborhood. That's, so they literally took out El Nuevo Rodeo. They took out T's Place. They took out a whole bunch of stuff right there in that whole area. They took out that Wendy's. Everything is burned like to the ground. El Nuevo Rodeo, that entire block that was El Nuevo Rodeo and T's Place, that whole building is rubble. Like, I went and saw it the next day. It was like, or the day after, it was rubble. Like, it was still smoldering to the ground. Like, that's not regular fires.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, right. Be mindful of the sites. Be mindful of the locations, because just last year we had a ceremony, an event for the Gordon Park High School that was just kind of re-established here in Minnesota, where we had Robert Townsend come up and we had our native Kimberly Elise come out and support. Why would the Black community want to destroy that? Something that means so much to us. Why would we take that away?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when people are saying, oh, you guys are stupid for tearing up your community, I challenge you to truly think and to truly like let it process. Why would we take away historically monumental staples to our community? Staples that offer community resources.
And then too, like, I'm still playing on the locations, like Ethiopian spots. There was 3 that I know of personally, people I know personally, 3 different Ethiopian owned spots that were burned to the ground. One of them is Chicago Furniture, which has been around for a long time. Like, it's just, and T's Place, that's another Ethiopian spot that was burned to the ground. And it's just,
Dang, I know that spot.
I've eaten there.
Yeah,
Dang.
What happens too is, and a lot of people are thinking that they're going to get money from this, but what happened is that if their place was broken into and damaged and vandalized, they would get insurance money. If the place was burned to the ground, they had to have riot insurance.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Otherwise, they don't get shit.
And it's like, who's expecting like a riot to to break out anytime soon?
Right.
When they're getting their insurance, that's just forever.
Right. It's something to consider when you're looking at those packages. Like, I got to pay an extra $300 for something that probably won't ever come.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that when that. when they said, do you want flood support? And I'm like, does this area really get flooded? I don't know if I want to pay for that. You know, we trying to balance the books, but also, you know what I do admire though? I admire the business owners that said, this is material.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Materials. I admire the business
My
owners.
sister was telling me about that.
Yes, that were out. I admire the community. Let me say this. Let me go back. I admire the community that went out and put their bodies on the line to protect business that owed them nothing.
Yes.
They put their bodies in front of these doors and windows and said, you won't destroy this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not going to just take everything from us. They didn't even have to have no communication, no connection or relationship with those business owners, but some men and women put their bodies on the line to keep some buildings from being destroyed. And then also the community went out there and helped businesses board up their fronts.
Yeah.
I saw a Facebook post where a friend of mine, her name is Markella Smith, she said, I put out a request on Facebook asking, how do I board up a business? And she said, I was flooded with community support that came to help me not only board up my business, but I was connected to the other community businesses. So that's one thing to know. But the other thing that I was trying to make sure that people, I was out there responding on everything because I feel when a business owner, I understand as a business owner and homeowner how hard it is to build something up and how gut-wrenching it is for someone to break into.
You just tear it down.
Yes, but I don't want you to hate your community if something comes. So I was responding to a business owner in St. Paul whose business was vandalized. And he was like, I do so much for the community. How dare the community do this to me? And I was like, baby, I want you to take a step back and understand that it may not have been your community, for say, the people that live in your community that did this to you. Don't hate your own people. Because understand that there were sheep in wolves' clothing.
Right.
Yep.
Asking themselves that were destroying and doing these things. Don't hate your brown and black community members.
The people who supported you still support you. That was not.
But it is those people that are taking the brunt and taking the blame for this.
And that's how
plan.
Exactly how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, that was the plan.
And some say that a race war is what is intended to come with this, but I just say that it's important. At the end of the day, this is my last remarks. At the end of the day, it's important for us to inform ourselves.
Yeah.
And knowledge is a powerful weapon. You hear me? Knowledge is a powerful weapon.
Very powerful.
Information comes and go. It's a stream because everyone has opinions. And so it's important that we fact check. It's important that we keep our wits about us and don't just take every piece of information that's put out as factual.
True.
To me, I always check it. Like, for example, I was out at 38th in Chicago when people were first, like days before Derek Chauvin was arrested, people were like, oh, I heard the cop was arrested. And then people looked at me because I have a news program and they was like, baby, is that true? And I said, and I was like, before I give you an answer, let me check on that. So I sat down and I went and I scrolled and I said, I'm not finding any information out on this. And sometimes people want something so bad.
Yeah.
So bad
to
believe something that is similar to what they want. And that's called confirmation bias. Because you're looking for the information that confirms what you believe or what you want to be put out or want to believe. But it's important to take in everything and process everything, then make it.
Yes, absolutely. You are correct. It is important to look at all sides and process that and really look. What we have to also remember is to always look at who gains from a situation and what things are playing into that. Because because a lot of times we don't see that because it's part of the big picture, and sometimes it's hard to see the big picture when you're stuck in the middle of that picture. But we have to step back sometimes, literally, and take all of those facts into account, and also like look at what is there a way for someone to gain from this, and who can gain from this.
Right.
It's important.
Yeah, man.
Into it.
Am I way clear here or here?
When you lean back, it's clear. It doesn't chop up much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What I was about to say. Well, I was speaking on to a couple of my people was like making sure people understand that, you know, like right now I feel like we're getting to a weird space where people are trying to capitalize virally on what they consider this is a moment. Like, this is not a moment. This has been happening to us before then, and unfortunately, you know, we got to work our way for it to not happen in a, you know, future or whatnot. But I'm seeing like a lot of people capitalize, whether it's individuals, like have you seen like videos of like some girl, she like is speaking on boarding up buildings. She like act like she was boarding up the building, took a picture, dipped off, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. And then as far as like companies coming out, NFLs, and we were wrong about college. It's like, no shit, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's trying to stay safe now and be a part of the moment and show that they're in support of what's going on right now. Like, yo, this, I need to see like a long track record, you know what I'm saying? Or you have to make some vast changes, you know. I don't need people trying to save face to save their business bucks coming in by issuing their little black moments right now. So I want people to be weary of that too, where everybody coming out, oh, you know, we support Black Lives. No, this has been happening. So where have you been the whole time? It's literally a viral moment right now, which is wow to me.
Absolutely.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why I wanted Jiccarra to start with that is because I feel like that is an important thing to talk about to phase into the other conversations. Because buying back the block and starting our own business is something that is like important right now. This is a moment for us to start making big moves that matter. And one of those would be starting your own business and buying back the block. So like TellDouble and Chosko, your guys is kind of go hand in hand, I feel like. And so if you guys want to like kind of talk about that, let's start with buying back the block and what that looks like and how that can play into now starting your own business. So Chosko, go ahead. Start with what your ideas are with buying back the block.
What's up? What you on tonight? Nothing, bored. Slide on me. Cool.
Shawty in my lineup, like what you want tonight, oh yeah. Said what you got in mind, then she told me to slide, oh yeah. So I slide, I slide, I slide, on my way, I slide, I slide. Won't be long, I slide, I slide, I'm on my way, on my way.
Lil' shawty, it's like 10 p.m. Kinda figured you be tucking in. Musta called the vibe, said fuck it, you gon' hit the sand. Told me slide, and you ain't talking about in the DMs. Type of shit I like to hear. I'm on my way, a target run for just in case, so I'm prepared. You know I'm trying to take it there. We should hit a block or two. Subs vibrate the Chevy seats to get you in the mood. Candle lit the room. You know I love that. You extra freaky when you bug. I brought the bug with. No BS, pull up Pandora, let's turn up the Chris. Nah, this ain't the first time, but nothing's wrong with reminiscing. Look, I've been waiting for this repeat, just a 3P. You hit my line, I cannot lie, girl, I was too young. Went from playing cat and mouse to playing in the sheets. You got that recipe, now set the table, gone and watch me feast. Yeah.
Shawty in my lineup, Then she told me to slide, oh yeah. So I slide, I slide, I slide. On my way, I slide, I slide. Won't be long, I slide, I slide. I'm on my way.
Went from sliding in my DMs to you pulling up. You like my smile, I like your vibe, I think this could be us. And when we chill, you take your time, you never in a rush. Got your undivided attention, that's the shit I love. We got some Douce and some loud to permeate the air. I'm smelling good and looking better, I ain't playing fair. And you keep talking like you talking, we gon' take it there. Say this a dream come true for you, boy, I am well aware. I lit some incense and some candles, know you love that. It be the little things that keep a nigga coming back. Like dialogue that make him think and stimulate his mind. And how you let him choke you while he hit it from behind. Know you been waiting on this repeat, just a three-peat. When I accepted your advances, you was so geeked. And I'ma take it like a champ, let you go real deep. But first and foremost, say your prayers before you eat me. Yes.
Shawty in my lineup, like what you want tonight, oh yeah. Said what you got in mind. Then she told me to slide, oh yeah. So I slide, I slide, I slide. On my way, I slide, I slide. Won't be long, I slide, I slide. I'm on my way, on my way.
Let me tell you about the girls I got around the world. Most international, some of them round here. I love them chocolate vanilla, even cinnamon swirl. Thick or slim things, it don't matter, that's my word. Listen, I got a doctor named Donna, work up in the trauma unit. She an exchange student from Ghana, and her ass so fat, she must get it from her mama. And she always in the gym, or she wears Under Armour. Let me tell you about Vicky, she's so prissy. Little Cambodian, yeah, she's so pretty. Cook like a chef and a favorite rapper, Babyyy. Asian girl with some rhythm, always texting me, she miss me. Now Angie, my Brooklyn shorty. Look 23, but she's somewhere in the 40s. Call me on a lunch break, she be trying to get naughty. Man, it's something about them cougar women, yeah, they so horny. I got a Cape Verdean thing, I murdered the thing. Now she's so fastenta, always want me to bring her over the house. She said it hurt when I'm in, telling me Dom Bays, you love kissing the king. I got a special connection with my Trinidad love. Is it food, sex, or accent? All of the above. Could smell the curry cooking soon as you walk in the house. When I tell her I gotta go, she be cussing me out. Now Bianca, she from Switzerland, met her in Puerto Rico, I was just visiting. She a flight attendant, so she always in the sky. And she told me for my birthday, she taking me to Dubai. Yeah, speaking of Dubai, can't forget about Karen. Run her own magazine, beautiful single parent. And we met over the internet, intellect. But soon as I get around, shit, it's going down. My Colombian mommy was playing hard to get, till I made her squirt, she had the bed wet. Now it's Poppy this and it's Poppy that, cooking me rice and beans, trying to get me fat. I got so many girls all around the world, most international, some of them round her. I love them chocolate vanilla, even cinnamon swirl. Thick or slim things, it don't matter, that's my word. Listen.
My idea is like buying into commercial real estate. Like I seen, like I'm a real estate agent myself. I seen like a few people online speaking about buy back the block and using that as a self promotion to get them to sell houses. Why we do need home ownership and stuff like that. I feel like that's a more self-driven component of buying back a block, because nobody around your block really benefits from you personally buying a home. You know, that's something you're going to benefit from personally. So I think buying back a block, my idea of it is buying up commercial real estate, starting businesses where you can put people that look like you in jobs, in ownership positions. And, you know, how do we do it? Because we hear a lot. We can do it one by one, but what I'm working on currently is gathering a team to multiply the efforts. So say, for instance, if I were to get 10 people put in $5,000. You know, we can set a date for that, 7 months out, 10 months out, 12 months out. 10 people, $5,000. That's $50,000 on a loan that you can put down. Start with square one, building one. And what I'm trying to do, accomplish is getting a couple of groups of 10 so that we can strategically figure out, okay, not selfishly, okay, I want to do this. No, what will benefit the people on this block? When I feel like when you buy out the block, you have to benefit not only yourself, but the community. So we're not just buying, I want, you know, I do music, so there's no not for music, but I want a record label, let's go in on that. Does it make sense at this moment in time? So like putting the brains together to figure out what makes sense at this particular moment, what's gonna last, what's gonna bring in residual income for those involved, but also help those in the community by providing jobs, by providing the necessary need or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently right now, like I started with a couple of peers. Right now I have 4 people, and you know, I'm trying to get 6 more, and you know, start from there. Do it because you know it's easy to do it. Not easy. It's easier to do it when you're doing with strengthened numbers versus myself. Hey, come up with 70 grand, 80 grand, start my own business. That might take me, you know, a couple of years versus, all right, let's get the ball rolling now and keep people on it right now while the momentum's there. Because what happens, momentum dies, ideas die with it.
Right.
And that's something that me and my guy, because he has a couple of his like own businesses, and that we were talking about is that not enough like independent people, like you said, come together like that, you know, as far as like, you know, grabbing their resources and like putting them all together, you know, realizing that it'll speed the process up, you know, exponentially, you know, if people just came together. And not to, you know, not to sound like racy or whatever like that, but I feel like in the Black culture, the, you know, the African culture, like we don't really do that at all, man. We don't really come. It's like we're almost like we feel like we need to compete against each other instead of actually coming together and be like, okay, like you said, like, okay, let's put, you know, a few grand in, we can get this, but everybody's like no, man, no, I'm trying to come up.
Yeah, they want self-vision, but if you work towards something bigger than you, you know, everybody can win, but if you don't have I did that, I started this, and that's cool, we can do that as well, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Come together, you get bigger things done.
Ross's, all that's buy back the block, but you know, they got millions where they can go literally buy a building at a time. The average person not having that money, so how do you do it? We funnel our money together, funnel our ideas, and get it on paper where it makes sense for everybody involved, and just keep repeating the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, and get us shit. The thing is, what we need to do in our community is, like you said, got to be stuff that matters, though. So, like, we need grocers. We need, you know what I mean? We need, like, daycare. We need healthcare. Personally, I say holistic healthcare, especially. We need, you know, we need things that people are going to utilize that are important in our lives, because we really have to start changing how we're living. Like, we're really fucking up, man. Like, you know, health-wise, mental health-wise, you know, we have to really start changing the way that we're living with the things that are around us. You know, if to you is a liquor store and fast food.
Very true.
Much more difficult. I'm not saying that that's your only choice, but it is much more difficult if you have no form of transportation. It's a lot easier to just stop at the liquor store, stop at the fast food restaurant off the street than it is to try to go to a grocery store, which might be way further away. So if we
that's by design,
that are important and things that should be properly utilized, if we start putting in front of people what it matters in our lives, we can use them properly. We can utilize them.
Reshape our neighborhood.
Exactly.
Because I'm from Chicago, so when I go back to visit my family where they live at, they have liquor store literally, and I'm not overstating, it's literally like on every other block. They have casinos in the gas station. You know what I'm saying? Like slot machines in the gas station.
Yeah.
And they're raping the communities. And we have to reshape it as we're, you know, quote unquote, buying back about, you know, like you said, but we got a liquor store right here, boom, right where people are hurting the most, where they're gonna go. You're gonna turn to that.
Yeah.
We gotta take something out of there because they placing it right there. I go to Burnsville, I don't see a liquor store on every block. That's
Wine
the purpose.
It's something, and it's fancy. It's a wine and spirits, and it's
Right.
nice, and it's not like a liquor store where you go in there and you can literally get a half a gallon of liquor for like $9.
Right.
Like you said, you're putting it inside of a place where people are already hurting, and as human beings, we have a tendency to self-medicate when we don't know how else to fix it.
True.
We just cover it from it. You know what I mean? And what's the easiest way to do that? With alcohol and drugs, and if it's right there in your face and in your community, constantly being thrown at you,
Exactly.
shit, you're gonna cover the pain.
Yep.
Yeah, no, cause yeah, that self-medication thing is super true. Cause like I deal with like bipolar and stuff like that. So like I know that's another thing, like in the community of like having those stores around, having those liquor stores around where it's so easy to be like, you know, because that's what I did. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go up here then, you know, forget the hospital, the liquor store right here on my corner. So let me just, you know, go up here.
Yep.
And, you know.
Say that again, Jiccarra. We didn't hear you, huh?
I didn't want to cut my brother off, so I wanted to make sure he was finished before I started.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. It's important to know that when the coronavirus first struck and we had that in-house order, the stay-at-home order, it was stated that 2/3 of the 911 calls were due to domestic violence. And it was stated that suicide had gone up. And you know what was still open?
Liquor stores.
Liquor stores.
They were considered essential because I guess they claim the reason they were considered essential is because people would actually go through like DTs and have physical withdrawals that could cause them to die or become hospitalized or things of that nature.
Right. However, when you have family that's not used to dealing with each other, that really don't, like that was the first time a lot of parents got to know how their parenting styles and have been working. That was the first time that, you know, in a long time, you know, relationships have had to really test, you know, do we really like each other in this space, because we have no other outlets but to be in this space. There was a lot of medicated that took place.
Yeah.
And toxic acts that took place against bodies of the family. There were fathers taking their whole families out.
Man, that's crazy.
That's sad though.
That's
when
crazy stuff, man.
Was going on too. Add people who already have lack and then take away from them more.
Yeah, it was all propaganda to me.
People can only take so much.
Yeah. It just seemed too much like a movie, man. Like all this stuff seemed just too much like a crazy thriller movie.
And it's crazy. They shut everything down, and now you got people opening up to literally just sell their stock to, you know, go out of business. And I feel like, you know, there was a reset button. Somebody pushed the reset button. We're gonna do something with the economy. That, you know,
it's good. It's good. I'm glad you said that reset, because for the last, I want to say 8-9 months, I've been following the money. And this coronavirus, believe it or not, was part of their cover up for what they're doing. If does anybody know about the SWIFT system?
The what?
The what system?
The SWIFT system. Okay, so in the 70s, they created a system called the SWIFT, which is how our money travels. So that's why you remember we used to deposit a check and take 3 days for the shit to clear. And then you can use the money. Well, now that system is outdated. So what they've been doing is trying to replace that system. But they can't just replace it because technically it still works. So they have to come up with some reason for it to show it's not working. So in history, it's always been some big disaster that happens for them to hit a reset. So with coronavirus happening is all these people dying, all these people are out of work. They did stimulus checks. Well, if we were so much in debt, how were they able to get this money? That's what I was wondering. Well, they printed more money. Well, what happens when they printed this money was it devalued the dollar. So once it devalued the dollar, it allowed them to pretty much bankrupt the system. Dang. So now what's going on is the IMF, which they run the World Bank, that they already been depleted. So they already have switched to this new system. So now what's going on is, that's why if you ever listen, a lot of people don't like to listen to Trump speak, but he's telling everything that's going on at the same time. But everybody's so much hating him that they're not listening to what he's saying.
That's true. So
he's been telling us for the last 3 months, when we send out this next stimulus, it's coming on this new system. We're going to get it directly to the people faster. Yeah, it is, because the new system has always been implemented. It happened in these last 3-4 months. But nobody paid it because they focused everything on the corona, people dying. Then the unfortunate situation with George Floyd, if you notice, they switched from the coronavirus and focused literally on that.
That's what I'm telling people,
and then
man.
Once it died down a little, then here you come again. Now they're picking back up the corona stuff.
You're talking about the second wave.
Right. So what's happening is in the next, I'm like in the next couple of months, you're gonna start hearing about a system called Ripple. There's a company called Ripple who created this new system called XRP. It already replaced the SWIFT system, but they haven't went public yet. So I'm telling y'all now that y'all should go invest. You don't have to listen to me, but invest in cryptocurrency. It's a cryptocurrency called XRP. This is what's going to transfer our money.
Are you done?
And if you get into it now, it's like 19 cents a coin right now.
Yeah, it's going to get cold, but we can...
If you can get into it now, before they hit that switch, you're going to be sitting pretty when they do.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I'm gonna check into that. But I did see. I didn't know what was going on, but I did notice because like right before the corona and everything hit, I just know that they had like a bunch of CEOs stepping down from companies, and like a lot of shifts was going in there. It was like on the ticker on the news, but it was like, you know what I'm saying, real quick. You know what I'm saying? They showed it, didn't talk about it. And, you know, just kept the, you know, daily program running. And, you know, it was weird to me because the name that stuck out first, obviously, was like Bill Gates. And now all of a sudden he's like, I don't know if he's making his way into the political world or whatever is going on. He's, you know, a doctor all of a sudden. But like I seen him stepping down, a bunch of other people stepping down from major companies. So I didn't know exactly like what you just explained what was going on, but I knew some type of financial shift was happening for all these CEOs to be stepping down from their companies.
Yep. So yeah, they trying to create a one world currency right now. And what they're trying to do is, because the dollar runs the world, but also the US uses that dollar as a weapon. So they trying to go away from that and go back to the gold standard. So it's going to be once you know everything pan out, it's going to be about gold. What country have the most gold is probably who's going to run everything, and who can come up with the digital dollar first. Now they're saying China has already made theirs and is ready to go. The U.S., I don't know if anybody paid attention, but the first stimulus bill, if you go back and you look at everything that was in there, they created a digital dollar.
Trump said that. Trump already talked about the digital dollar. People.
Yep. It was passed in that first stimulus bill. So they going away from cash.
Yeah. They've been bringing us to this point though for some time. I mean, they created the debit card, and then they created, the credit card, I guess, and then they created the debit card.
Yeah.
Digital transfer of money and direct deposit, and now we can send money digitally. I have CashApp. If anyone wants to CashApp me, you can do that.
Yeah, and another thing is like,
you gotta drop it now. You gotta drop it.
Right, and then
phone right now. I can hold my phone to a fucking machine, and it goes. It takes the money directly out of it. So,
exactly. And then they're scaring people too with the first thing they said was that Corona transfers on money. So that was another way of them scaring people to stop using cash, because they trying to get rid of it.
Yeah. You see how many stores weren't accepting cash?
Mm-hmm.
I did see that. I'm not too cool with the elimination of cash. Like, I mean, I ain't got no choice. It is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? I just feel like numbers on a computer screen could always be, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Swept up like that,
Think about it. What can the Black and brown community get access to? Cash. But what can we not get access to without going through loops and holes and hurdles? Credit.
Mm-hmm.
And so with this changeover, with this transition, you're going to have to need credit in order to obtain anything.
Sorry guys, not to cut everybody off. My family just made breakfast for me, so they're kind of like wondering like where I'm at. So I'm getting like looks and stuff coming in the room. So I gotta head out of here and eat this breakfast with them. But I appreciate everything with everyone. I love this conversation. I can't wait till Melody post this up so I can share this, because it's very deep. It's what people need to hear. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And I will be seeing y'all soon and following all of y'all. So have a good one. Melody, did you hear that?
Go aside from Google.
Yeah, we all on Google. Everybody on Google.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look y'all all up. Google y'all right now. Let me take a screenshot. Actually, I'm gonna screenshot this. There we go. All right, got the screenshot. So, Melody, I appreciate you. Love all y'all, and happy Father's Day. I will holler at y'all later.
Happy Father's Day. Have a good one.
All right, man.
Peace.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Jiccarra. Go ahead and get back into what you were saying.
I just wanted to be short with it and just make sure that, like my brother Yooda said, is that we definitely gotta think more than surface when it comes to what's happening around us, because it's not surface level activity. Right. We got to think, okay, so wait, what does this mean once this new system goes into place? What does this new transition, this new rebirth mean? Okay, it means that certain groups of people may not have the same access as others. One, because we don't have the information with how, Yooda is introducing something new. It's been circulating for some time, investments and cryptocurrency, but we don't have a legacy of ancestors that had information like this to pass on to the Black and brown community. So the Black and brown community are going to be almost the last to come on board in order to seize was rightfully theirs, or the opportunity to get investments in on their stocks or shares or any part of it. So really what it comes down to is still a separation of class.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And even to say this, did y'all notice, I think it was like February, when a bunch of millionaires sold a bunch of stocks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That had nothing to do with the coronavirus.
All right.
That was all about them buying cryptocurrency. So what ends up happening is when they sold these stocks, now all of a sudden us normal people said, oh shit, stock market low, let's go get it. But here we are still gonna be in last place because they bounced out of it. We got a way into it, but now they on to the next thing.
And moved on. By the time we catch on, they on to something else.
Exactly.
Because we would never be able to truly be in the same race, neck and neck with them. Why? Let me tell you why. This is a beautiful quote that another Black Queen's sister put out. She says, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's not just about race. It's not just about race. It's not just about Black against white. But here's something that was shared. For those who continue to say, why are you mad? You weren't ever a slave. Let me explain. Your family has land, trust funds, family businesses that you can inherit, because while my great-grandparents should have been building the future for me, they were building a future for you for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's facts. I mean, you know, they'll say, why are you still complaining? Because you know, we've made leaps and strides. If you think about it, 60 years ago or whatnot, we were, even fighting for our civil rights. We made strides at a fast pace, but cannot deny the fact that, like you just said, our grandparents, ancestors were busy building futures for other families, so couldn't build ours. And then, like I tell my mom every time, we look to better off of her, but I can't blame her for the things that she wasn't taught. She sometimes be saying things like, I can't blame you for what you were taught, because y'all were taught to survive more so than to, live and thrive. And that's just what it is. So, I gotta, try to jump 10 years with lack of knowledge and lack of a father figure around teaching me. But at the same time, I don't have time to complain because the world's still moving.
Exactly. You got to break that
you're putting in.
Yep. I just want to share that those words came from, her name is Tiana Washington. That's whose post I just read. That too. And then here's the thing, there are few of us that take time to educate themselves, like my brother Yooda here. There are few of us that take time to make sure that they're catching up on game to what's really happening. And unfortunately, for others in this same community, we don't necessarily spend that time educating ourselves because we're in survival mode. Yeah. We're trying to just keep afloat in this race. We're just trying to keep running so a leg don't slip and we fall and break our neck. And I know, Yooda, that it will be a very, very huge charge and responsibility for you to have on yourself, for me to say, brother, I really love that you have this information, and I really hope that you will take an opportunity to inform the community so that we can have the information that you have. That's a lot that I'm asking of you. I am asking that of you.
It's not, for me, it's not a lot, because I've been tired of struggling my whole life. And when I go to work, I sit down not even sit down, we talking, and I'm like, look, this is what's going on. Da, da, da. And what I get in response is, oh, that'll never happen. Da, 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 da. And, I told, because I currently also work at the post office other than I do music. And I told a couple of the clerks, this is what was happening. And she looked me in my face and said, no, that ain't happening. And then this was like, I told her this a month ago, just Saturday. That same clerk came to me and said, we short on money up here? It was like, they went to the bank was short on money. I say, I told y'all it's happening.
And you know why people aren't listening? This is what I come to understand. And I'm not mad at anyone. I want to say this because people are gonna be like, oh, she's just, constantly trying to say that, people don't care. But I'm gonna say this. I've asked people even in my community, when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic, when it comes to George Floyd's incident, it's a movement right now that we're in, but I'm gonna tell you what these occurrences have that are similar when it comes to people's ideation and attitudes around it. What I've come to learn, and I'm just speaking from my own experience. I like to speak from my own experience because I don't like to be token as the voice of the people. So from my experience, what I've come to understand and to learn based on just asking questions and having, conversations, is that a lot of times people won't take heed. People won't take action, or people won't even accept things happening until it happens to them.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to Corona, everybody was saying it's a conspiracy, it's not real, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. Until somebody in their immediate family was struck or sickened by it. When it came to George Floyd, I've asked my neighbors, I'm not sure if they're gonna see this, they're from Indonesia. I've asked other people, and I said, how, and I asked people, so I was called to duty, state active duty. And a lot of people saw me, and anytime somebody got to get me, separate, they said, what do you think of this? And I'm honest and transparent. It bites me in the butt. But I literally said, if I wasn't here, I'll be out there with the. But here's the thing also, whenever somebody asked me a question, I turned it back to them, and I said, what are you telling your kids about what's happening? And people at that point, they would kind of get uneasy. They'll start shaking because they don't know how to answer that question. They'll say, oh, I watched the video and I thought it was really sad what happened to him. It's really sad. And so I say again, what are you telling your kids about what's happening in the community, in the nation right now, in the country, in the world around them? What are you telling your kids? And they can't answer that. Why? Because it doesn't affect them. It's not their life that they're living. It's not their brother. It's not someone from their immediate circle. But you know what is happening to the communities that are affected? They're looking internally. I feel so compelled to just love on Black men right now, because when I have a conversation with a Black man, once they really get comfortable and share what's in their head, you know what comes out? I just don't want it to be me that ends up on a shirt next. Like my eyes are literally on the verge of tears right now. I had a conversation with a brother, and then the following day I wrote a poem that said, "Dear Black man, I love you." I'll read it, because he was just saying, I got to leave Minnesota. And I kept saying, it's not just a Minnesota thing.
Everywhere.
He was just saying, I'm fearful of my life. I'm scared. Like at this point, I'm just gonna be real. I have a little cousin who's 18 years old. For the past week or so, I've been charged emotionally, just chasing after him, because every couple of days he's crying. I shouldn't say crying. I'm being honest. Every couple of days he's on live sharing that, he wants to harm himself. His dad has passed away, so he no longer have that structure in his life. But he's really crying out for attention. I'll say this to him, and I say to anybody that's asking, he's crying out for attention, because a lot of us are loving on our Black men, and as we should, and a lot of us are saying that we need to, take heed to our Black women that, is putting on these organizations and organizing events for us, and then we want to make sure that the kids are covered. For this young 18-year-old who just transitioned from adolescent into adulthood, who's looking out for him? Who's making sure he's good? So at this time, he feels lost. He feels silenced. He feels like he's just in non-existence, because nobody is looking out for him. And I get it. I get mad as hell because I'm like, you know, ruin my day with these tactics and tensions that you're throwing. But I get it. A lot of us is just crying, whether we're crying out for attention or we're just crying for our lives. It's we can inform ourselves, we can buy back the block. But you know what else was said? As Yooda, I think you're gonna get to this also. Like I said, information is powerful. With that information, we have to understand that it is important for us to arm ourselves. It is important for us to ensure ourselves. Something else that came out was that if Black and brown communities had life insurance, we won't have to tell the police to stop killing us, to take their knees off our necks. Why? Because the insurance company would tell them for us. If we were insured, if we were worth something, we wouldn't have to say stop killing us. But we rely on GoFundMe's. That's not insurance. We rely on Facebook sponsors and donations. That's not insurance. We need life insurance at any age, because as we're learning, some parents are burying their kids before the kids bury the parents. We need insurance. I'm not an insurance seller. Maybe I should become one. But brother, well, I got you back. What's most important to me is not even about me trying to say I sell insurance, so let me sell you on something. What's most important to me is that you have the information, armed with information so that you can make an informed decision. Baby, if you had insurance and your life was worth something, people would think twice before they take you out.
Yep.
First of all, your life is worth, it's priceless. But if you had a dollar amount attached to it, those insurance companies, they don't like being hit in the pocket. So yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to spend. I think that goes to what you're saying, Melody, as far as like relearning and restructuring ourselves, because if we do that, you know what I'm saying, things like insurance that we need to know. And, you know, when you're speaking of the new currency and not being able to buy our way in because a lot of our people not even having the credit, and a lot of these things are, I think, you know, we need to sit down and learn that, because, you know, it's few of us, you know what I'm saying, that got it. But we have to extend these knowledge and, you know what I'm saying, to the ones outside of us that already know it, and then they have to be accepting and willing to change their behavior to, because a lot of these things, and I don't want to say it's easy, but it's just what I would say obedience. You know what I'm saying? Being obedient and to whatever situation that you're gonna do when it comes to credit. It's obedience. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things can be changed, but we have to be accepting and willing to do things differently than we've previously done them in order to be a part of those conversations, be able to get a seat at the table when it comes to, all right, well, there's a new change going to be implemented regardless if you like it or not. Okay, well, you need to be strategic in the way you move and disciplined so that, okay, I'm not going to continue to get left behind, and catching up later. They're telling us stop now. Oh, I want to jump in. If we get on the path of discipline, we'll be able to be there when the changes are happening and not always late to the party.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know if you guys are aware, but by January, y'all are going to have digital wallets inside your bank account automatically.
Digital what?
A digital wallet inside your bank account.
I didn't know it was by January, but I did know that was coming. Yeah, the digital wallets. They've been talking about the digital wallets too. Yeah. So
it said by January, it will be in everyone's bank account.
Oh, no, digital ID too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't know if you guys know, but you can't cross like state lines and shit if you don't have a federal ID pretty soon here too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's October, December this year, I think is.
We're getting closer and closer to that shipping.
I already seen it, and they got like ring chips that they're trying to crucify Kyrie Irving right now for saying, hey, basketball is cool, but there's more important things going on right now that I want to handle. And kind of fast forward a little bit, but they got some type of ring things with chips, and they say they detect the coronavirus up to 3 days early, and it's they call it a smart ring and all type of stuff. And it's, like you said, closer and closer.
Yeah.
They trying to chip us like they do animals, where you know, right now you can take a machine and put it up to my dog who's sitting in the chair next to me and tell where his address is and where he come from and bring him back to me.
And shots.
They need to do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all don't have a snake problem where y'all are. Yeah, they need to do that. They need to do that. Some of these snakes here, because you know these pythons are out of control. But you know,
you be like, who sent you?
For real, like this is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. We most definitely all need to keep in touch after this, and just Yooda, whatever class you teaching, I'm signing up for it.
I don't teach. It's just that I inform. You know, I share the videos that I find. I follow this dude on YouTube called The Bearable Bull. Like literally every day he's posting information. Like he does a video literally every day, except for like Tuesday is the only day he doesn't do it. But like everything that he's been posting has been happening. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, this shit is happening.
Right.
Man, y'all, this has been a great conversation. I really enjoyed these topics, and I think that we got a lot covered here. The only thing we didn't really talk about was Yooda's topic, which his is about money too, and about how artists can make money where radio and club spins. And I think that we should touch on that if you guys still have time. You can't hear me?
No, I want to hear what he got to say. I need to listen.
Yeah, we know they are so few waste time, ready to go get mine. Music in them ears, now they loving my flow. Hear it through the grapevine, say them never realize. Show them you're a beast, but they will let them know. Y'all I move them baseline, when them hear the baseline. Shuffling at the place, yeah they love the beat. We do what we feel like, everything I real life. Got a lot of soldiers in the street. We know they are so few waste time.
Blocking this fatality at 17, got a nigga vibing like it's part of me. I never been a nigga to run. A big body, check my mom, move deep, pussy cloud like a prodigy. I might crack a smile, but ain't a damn thing funny. I'm looking at you niggas, all I see is Kelly Bunny. Stupid motherfuckers, I can't help but chuckle. I been that nigga, why you think she reaching for my buckle? Domesticated, but I lay the pipe like a foreign. She putting on my mains while I got her body rolling. Top shot of backyard, red stripe flowing. They rid me of my sorrow, keeping back shots going.
We know they are so few waste time, ready to go get mine. Music in them ears, now they loving my flow. Hear it through the grapevine, say them never realize. Show them you're a beast, but they will let them know. Y'all I move them baseline, when them hear the baseline. Shuffling at the place, yeah they love the beat. We do what we feel like, everything I real life. Got a lot of soldiers in the street. We know they are so few waste time.
I love how she do it, that bubble like nothing to it. I know she feel that voice cause she moving on to the music. I hit her with that dagger, her body just needed tuning. Bedroom bullet, 100 sheets eater. That pool turned up, lad master, yo the teacher. You the mama's man, I'm a full grown creature. The body riders got a top shot, so focused. A couple blue face make them vanish, hocus pocus. Time steady moving, now tell me now who you choosing. That pussy called Lord, y'all man, let's get it moving. Your girl got a look in the eyes like she a shooing. Girl, quit wasting my time, let's get it moving.
They are so few waste time, ready to go get mine. Music in them ears, now they loving my flow. Hear it through the grapevine, say them never realize. Show them you're a beast, but they will let them know. Y'all I move them baseline, when them hear the baseline. Shuffling at the place, yeah they love the beat. We do what we feel like, everything I real life. Got a lot of soldiers in the street. We know they are so few waste time. Music when me love been on my journey long. Right you know me ready to go bust the place to use the plan. Money we defend, now we no care for nothing lesser than. This how when me want to know for overstand me there on the scene. Nubawn been putting in work going on for a long time. Just to follow me dream. Right now me enough time to waste. Just give me where you know mine. Come ready for it. When
me there at South Beach in a jazzy club, cream on Miami live. Man, I boss up the place. Made them know it have no time to wait. Just give me where you know mine. We not there so few waste time. Ready to go get mine. Music in them ears, now they loving my flow. Hear it through the grapevine, say them never real time. Show them you're a beast, make the world let them know. Y'all I move them baseline, when them hear the baseline. Shopping at the place, yeah they love the beat. We do what we feel like, everything I real life. Got a lot of soldiers in the street. We know they are so few waste time.
And I'll tell you how you want it. Know just what you like. Know just what it is you know. Tell you everything you like. Tell you everything you like though. Girl, it's early in the morning. What you want? I'm sleeping. You think he's cheating? He parked up the street, so you think he's creeping? He been gone all weekend. Probably just smoking weed then. You even noticed the little things like how he's speaking. Hey, think that he doing something. Still give him repercussions. It really ain't no discussion. You don't like it when he hustles, dealing with trust issues. Say you really don't need him, then crawl back when he miss you. But you don't really want him to leave though. On most typical nights you be alone. And you ain't gotta listen to me, no. Cause honestly that used to be me, so it's kinda crazy. That's the truth, no kinda maybes. Either he do or he don't. You shouldn't try to change it. Hey, look, you gotta know that you could hear me anytime. Say that you wanna leave. He leaves, but he always comes right back. Now you don't know what you need. But I gotta tell you, girl, you gotta be free. You ain't gotta listen to me. 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 You ain't gotta listen to me.
Yo, shit.
You ain't gotta listen to me.
En veces puedo estar entregando kilo a domicilio o cogiendo en mi domicilio, contando en 25 como Al Pacino. Yo Pesci, Tammy DeVito, mi vida es un casino. Cordialmente traje vino, diamantes en platino, zapatillas Valentino. Vacaciones portuguesas, te saco, te compro por gusto, nena, no por obligación. Ok, la chequera y las llaves, tarjeta de crédito y claves. Te gusta sufrir, quien te quiere mantiene en diamantes y pieles. Vuelos sin esperas, gracias a mis colegas. Tocando 30,000 en becas. En Mr. Chao, cruzando piernas, ordenando champaña por docenas. Para ti y mis estrategas, honor y amor en el César, con mis Césars, arrasando estas fichas sin cesar. Ganancias, elegancia en cada verso, folletos escogiendo baguettes para Rolexo. Champaña o café con amarrero, ordenando por el mundo entero. Champaña o café con amarrero, puta, ¿quién te sacó del guero?
He leaves, but he always comes right back. Now you don't know what you need. But I gotta tell you, girl, you gotta be free. You ain't gotta listen to me. 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 You ain't gotta listen to me.
I think it's
yeah.
You know, I think the connection between the DJs and the artists have been lost. And it's to the point now where the DJs feel that they don't need the artists, which is far-fetched because without us, you have nothing to play. But I don't know about Minnesota, because when I came there, I really didn't have that issue when I came to perform there. But I know here in Miami, it's more of how much money you put in my pocket if I'm gonna play the record. Which is bad because what happened here is we had the transition of dope boys becoming artists. So what happened is they had all this drug money and they was paying the DJs. Well, DJs don't care. The DJs really don't care that they was dope boys, but when you got somebody who work a 9 to 5 or have kids or have these things and have just as good as music, they're not getting played. Because why? They don't have that extra money to put in this DJ pocket. They trying to get the money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that was one of the major issues with that. And I think it needs to be brought back down to the table to we need each other. You know what I'm saying? Like to survive. Without our music, we can't play. Without you, we can't get our music out. So it needs to be some kind of understanding again of where we go with as far as music being played. Like me personally, I don't put money in anybody's pocket. What I do when I go to a club, I build relationships with DJs now. But if I go to a club and I don't know the DJ, I might send them a drink or two. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not putting my money in your pocket. I send you a drink, or if I had a good week, I might send you a bottle and be like, hey, salute, you ain't even gotta pay my music. It's just you in the same industry as me, and I'm just showing love. You know what I'm saying? And it's about building relationships. And I think that's where the problem is. I have done research on the adjustment wave 2 in the music business, and what happened was a lot of DJs in the past played artist music on the strength of just showing love, but when this artist blew up, he acted like he didn't know who the DJ was. So, I mean, you can't put all the blame on the DJs because some of these artists are to blame exactly as well. So I think we just need to come back to a level playing field. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, get it on. That's just like even with Melody. I think the first couple of times she played my record, I retweeted it because she tweeted that she was playing it, whatever. But I don't know, that one particular night that she played it, I decided to call in.
Oh,
I was, yeah, I need to call in. Like I never did call in. I think that was the first night I ever actually called in. And I was like, you know what? Let me call in. And that was the night that I met Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Phoenix was on the show that night. Okay.
Yeah, Phoenix was on the show that night. So it was like, you know, you got to support. And you got to be on a level playing field. And one hand wash the other, both wash the face. That's just how I go by.
Yeah, yeah. You know, what you have going on down there, we don't have it as bad. Like up here, some of the DJs do say stuff about how, you know, people should kind of like not just expect their music to be played, but, you know, talk about money, put some money in my pocket, which I feel that to a certain extent, like but it's more about approach with me. I can understand like what you said, going back to what you about building a relationship. Like you don't just walk up to a DJ and be like, yo, check out my music here, play this tonight. Like that's disrespectful as fuck. Now, like what you say, you might just off GP any given night, you might just throw him a drink because he's the DJ. Now, when you approach him, hey, you know, I got some new music out. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but I was wondering if you had a chance to take a look at it. Maybe you could play it sometime. That approach is totally different. Or even saying, hey, you know, it's early in the night. You catch him early in the night before the crowd's crazy and shit. You toss him $10 and ask him, or, you know, offer him some money, offer him a drink, offer some communication, offer a service. If you just build any kind of relationship, it's about approach. I'm not saying you always have to offer money, but, you know, building a relationship beforehand and how you approach the person makes a huge difference in how they handle the situation.
Exactly.
Me, if I was a DJ, I would be more inclined to play somebody's music who approached me professionally and respectfully and just said, hey, You know, not even to offer me money, like I said, like just how you said, build a relationship with that person.
Yeah, I normally, like, now I give them a drink. I send a drink, and then I go give them my business card. I don't even ask to play my music that night.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then when you come back later, now you get, then maybe they'll even email you. Oh man, I didn't know you played music. Let me check out what you got. They might even come to you because of how you approached them. Hey, I've been looking for some independent music to play. Why don't you send me something? Let me check. Right. Now you've approached them in a respectful manner, and they feel valued, and they don't feel like you're just trying to just take advantage of them because of what they do.
Mm-hmm. I feel. Go ahead. Go first.
I'm sorry. I think that it's definitely important for the artist to make sure to compliment the DJs, the supporters, because myself, I mean, I'm an artist, and what I run into a lot of times, I could come in with the sweetest intentions, saying, hey, I would love your support, your guidance, your mentorship. I do that. I was just telling a good friend, Ashley DeBose, who, you know, is a great artist, that in every new endeavor, I always look for mentorship and guidance. Because I learned early on that, you know, successful people look for people in positions that they see themselves in and ask them for support getting there. But a lot of times what I ran into is burnt out DJs and personalities and hosts because they've been approached so many times and they help. And they offer support, but then once those people get on, they act as if, like you've mentioned, Yooda, that they never receive that support or that help. And so for me coming out without even knowing this, people are telling me no, like, nah, I'm not gonna help you. And I'm like, dang, you rude. Like, why wouldn't you want to help the next come up? But then I have to understand that, you know, they've been like Q-Bear from 80, I'm actually working on I've been working on my radio proposal for 89.9, and I've approached Q-Bear so many times. He really wants you to show and prove your seriousness, your sincerity, because he's approached every day multiple times, and then people don't follow up. And so I understand when someone tells me no. And so what I have to understand as an artist and come to accept is that it's not always about me. Mm-hmm. That's the hardest thing to accept, is that it's not about me. If someone tells me no, not right now, or if someone gives me, you know, some unintentional backlash, it's not necessarily about me. I have to understand where they've come from. I had an incident yesterday where a family member said to me, I asked you for a place to stay and you let me live at your house. And I was like, it's not about you. I have guidelines that I stand by. And I just don't rent to family and friends. And you're a man and I have a home for women. But I was homeless and you let me stay homeless. It's not about you. So as an artist, when I'm approaching DJs and hosts and personalities and they just say, no, I don't have the capacity right now. Oh, I want to be mad. But I also understand it's not about me, because maybe that DJ or that host have been burnt. Maybe they have really, you know, outsourced their resources till they didn't have anything to give themselves. And once that artist got on, they didn't look out for that artist, that
DJ, yeah.
So I understand. I get it. I think, but here's also the thing too. Like you guys were saying, sometimes it comes to who gonna pay me the most. Here's the thing too to understand. The relationship has to be mutual. Mm-hmm. The request, the motive, the intention has to be mutual. Because just like the DJ needs the artist needs the DJ. Just like the artist needs the DJ needs the artist. DJs are playing music that was created by artists. Mm-hmm. Music is being played because the DJ is giving the spins.
Yeah.
It has to be mutual.
It's a beautiful synergy if it's just done properly.
Exactly. Yeah, it was crazy. I think, was it the last show I had? Yeah, the last show I did up there was the 8-Ball MJG show.
Oh yeah, dope. Yeah, I wanted that show.
That night was, I think that was the first night that I really had let me not say I had an issue, because I really didn't have an issue. It was more of, I know he's gonna kill me for this, but Phoenix and the other DJ, they had an issue, and it was about me. And what ended up happening was, the other opening acts, they sold tickets to perform. Well, I didn't have to sell any tickets. So my slot was supposed to be 2 before 8 Ball MJG. So it was me, then one person, then them. That was my original slot. So when the show actually started, I was, you know, in the VIP. I could look up, we was in Privé. So I can look and see in the booth, and I see them, you know, arguing. And I'm like, you know, me and Phoenix, we like brothers. So I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, he was like, nah, he trying to make you go first because these artists sold tickets to this, but you don't deserve that. You did this. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. No problem. I'll go first. He was like, no. I said, listen. I said, look at the floor. There's nobody out there. Watch what happens when I come off the stage. I told him that. And he'll tell you, I told him that. I said, watch. DJ called my name. It was literally nobody on the floor. Everybody was in their own little corners, having their own conversation. The music started. I performed 8 songs. By the 3rd song, the whole floor was packed.
Hey, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And then I already knew what the problem was. Before he even said it, I knew it, because I've been down this road plenty of times. So when I came off stage, I went right to the DJ booth. I was like, hey, bro, appreciate the opportunity. Now, because in my head, it's kind of the, I don't want to say the cockiness, but in my head, it's like, what you just did was you made it hard for the next person who coming behind me.
Right.
Because now I already set the standard of what has to continue to go on. And let's just say the songs that was performed, the next 2 after me, had they went first, they would have had a better chance of the crowd. Because after that, I mean, they was getting booed. Yeah, it was bad. They got booed.
They got booed?
They got booed off. And then I think the 4th person after me, like, he was really good. I can't remember his name. I mean, this was like 2 years ago, so. But, and then the rest of the night was fine. But it was like, you know, they do stuff like that, and you're not affecting who you think you're affecting. You know, because that moment could have crushed those artists' dream. You know what I'm saying? Them being booed could have crushed. If they weren't strong enough, because I don't even know if they're still doing performing. So if they wasn't strong enough as an artist to deal with that, you just crushed a career trying to throw me out there with nobody on the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was fine. I didn't care. I was like, I'm here, 8 Ball MJG performing. You know what I'm saying? The club was packed. I was like, shit, this is my opportunity right here. You know what I'm saying? This was my 3rd show in Minnesota. You know, so hey, it is what it is. But you know, the DJs they understand their power, and some of them abuse it and some of them don't. But we just got to come back down to a playing level field. That's it.
I think they need some consistency. Like, you know, like speaking of your situation where you just had, you got, you know, paying for tickets and not paying. I've been on both sides of that where I didn't pay to perform and stuff like that. And then afterwards, you know, I get smarter like, yo, I'm holding down the crowd until your main act gets here. I'll never pay for a show again. But they're inconsistent in their movements, and for me that irritates. Like, I understand, okay, we got to come to them with a certain approach, or your business professional approach need to be receive it back to me as well. Like, I honestly don't care if you dealt with 300 people. That's the position you put yourself in. If I hold a job where I'm playing records, you're gonna get 300 people asking you to play their record. But if you're gonna charge people, all right, keep it consistent. Like you said, if you got, dope boys, yeah, they can pay, $200, whatever you charge, $200-300, working a 9 to 5, probably can pay it, but for one spin, it ain't even worth what I just paid to you. It's not worth it. So for me, I kind of took things into my own hand. That's why my music thing started to, change course, because I stopped wanting to act, because I have an ego in a different way. I'm not gonna ask you, bro. This is it's a new day and age. I'm gonna throw my own show. I'm not gonna, ask nobody to play me. I'm not gonna pay you $500 to perform for 10 minutes. Because I've had situations where I didn't bring it out the crowd, and I do 10 minutes. They like, yo, that's all. We came up here. You doing 10 minutes? I'm not doing it again. So therefore, I set up my own joints, and that's not going to lead to long-term prosperity and whatnot in different avenues. But at the same time, for me, that's the best way to take control of my situation. It's like, yo, I'm not going to beg you to do your job. And then I also feel another thing is, they've taken away the aspect of wanting to break artists. They want you to come to them already prepared as a superstar. Bro, I'm not a superstar yet. I'm trying to work my way there. So that's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm willing to pay you. That's why I'm willing to do these things and put my ego to the side for this. Like you said, my music is just as dope as anybody's, but we already know it's not about music. But I'll ask questions, blah, blah, blah. But, if you want me to come to you ready-made, that's the problem that I see in the soul. Is like they want people coming to them. They want to play you when you're already here. Okay, are you interested in breaking artists, or is that not an art anymore? Where's the Who Kids? Where's the, DJ dramas that were breaking artists? And yeah, but then you explain situations where they are not given credit. Well, I paid you, so if I give you credit or not, I paid you physical, money. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't need credit if somebody paid me for a verse. You pay me for a verse, $150. I don't care if I get the credit. I got the money.
Nah, I need that credit.
That's the way I think about it.
I need that credit because you know why?
Name on it.
I need that credit because
works longer than the money, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, just that's for me personally. Like, yeah, if you pay me my money, that's my credit.
Right, let me explain something to you. I would rather have the credit than the money. Because what happens is, you don't know, 5 years down the line, that song may blow. And as long as your name is on that credit list, you got paid.
Yes, please credit me for my work at all times.
Exactly.
I want to speak in credit like that. I think you were saying like credit as in saying, hey, that artist or that DJ didn't play me like that.
Like I tell the artist straight up, you want to do a feature? I need BMI information or ASCAP, CSAT, whatever it is you got. I need that information so I can report this right off the bat before we even record.
My brother Eno was on here recently. Innocence. I actually just talked to him because I was watching. So speaking of everything that I said before I got on here, I should have watched the previous episode so I can kind of get an understanding of the conversation base and the platform, what it's about. Because if it wasn't what I stood for, I was going to tell Melody, I'm sorry, I cannot get on because it doesn't align. But anywho, I'm sorry. So my brother Innocence was on here, and there was another brother, and we were talking back and forth about whether paid attention or not. And one brother said, "I don't work unless I get paid," and some people, I understand that, but it's also important to understand that payment doesn't always come in the form of monetary value. Compensation could be money, and it could be credit. Compensation could also be, for example, there's opportunities that may not pay you right off. There's like myself, I have to think about in certain endeavors that I go into, how long am I willing to go in as a student or as an intern to gain the experience and the knowledge that I need to be great at this particular field before then I say, pay me, you know, for doing this job. But I love that my brother said, you know, it's important to continue to grow, because if we're always just waiting on the monetary opportunities, especially, you know, in the time of COVID where they weren't coming, it's important that you know, he wasn't allowing himself to be stagnant because opportunities wasn't always paying. Now, also on the flip side of that, there might be opportunities that will pay very greatly, but then what are you selling for that monetary value? There's you know, opportunities that may take your likeness and pay you great, but then you become their pawn. So I think, you know, for me, my name is everything. My pastor said your name is going to take you far. My name is everything. So you can pay me, but still make sure you spell my name right. I don't care how much you paying me. I want my credit too. And if you're not paying me, I want my credit first. My compensation can be the relationship that I formed. My compensation can be the opportunity, the space that this have opened up to me. You know, the connections, the access that this opportunity has provided, even if it's not monetary. But spell my name right.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget the N, baby. Don't forget. Yo, I'm with it too. And you know, the thing about it is, for me, I always look at it like this, because I'm an artist myself. And so when I always look at it like, doing something that I believe in, if there's not money attached to it, I want to choose that first of all. And also I'm choosing it out of like, is it because I care about this? Is it because I care about the person? Is it because, you know, there's a reason that you're going to choose to do it for free. And then the thing about it is that it leads to other avenues. The universe doesn't make mistakes. It leads to other things, because, you know, once you've put something out there that you do, whether you're a vocal artist, a visual artist, whatever, entrepreneur, when you put that out there and maybe you give away free samples or whatever, you are putting yourself, giving an opportunity for other people now you never heard of you before to see you, to see what you have to offer, and to utilize your services or your voice, or, you know, whatever it happens to be, where you might not have had, those people may have never had the opportunity to see you otherwise. And just because you did that for free, I mean, monetarily, you could open up a whole new avenue to just like success. You see what I'm saying? Like, the universe doesn't make mistakes. It puts us where we need to be when we need to be there. It aligns us. As long as we listen and we stay in tune and we stay aligned with what's going on around us, keep our minds and our listening mind open. Yeah, man. It doesn't make mistakes. So definitely, but give me my credit. Always give me my credit.
Exactly.
So, everybody, does anyone want to touch on anything that we've been talking about? Does anyone have anything that they want to speak about? I don't want to cut anybody off or make you guys feel like I'm just rushing you out the door.
I want to, you know, hear other music. You know, I love listening to other people's music. So, drop me a message, links, whatever. I listen. Follow IG, whatever, you know.
I'm about to send you, I don't have music on there, but I got a new YouTube channel and I'm about to send it to you, because it's in our community and arming them with information so that they can make informed decisions as it applies to their lifestyle. I'm gonna send it to you. Make sure you subscribe.
Oh, for sure.
Dang, I wish I knew what I just said so I could type that up. That was got it again. Hold on.
What? It's forever in stone. Oh. Worry not.
Rewind that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you know what's really cool too is Yooda, you already have, maybe can even connect with Jiccarra because you're an educated, informed person and you keep on top of things, and she does as well. So maybe you guys could even cross connect with some of that. He may be able to give you some stuff to write about and things that you didn't know about going on the other side of the country. I mean, that's kind of cool too. So I love that. You guys definitely should stay connected with that.
For sure.
I love it. So I want to give everybody a chance to give any kind of shout outs they might have, which this is like the first time of the show that the show has gone this like, I don't want to say smoothly because they've always gone smoothly, but like this is almost like right on time. Like we're almost completely on task, and it's not normal for me or my shows. So I want to give you guys a chance to give any kind of shout outs. I haven't said this yet. I want to give you guys a chance to give any shout outs you have. And then also let people know where they can find you on social media or connect with you, however you'd like to be connected with. And if you have any, maybe a different type of spelling, probably make sure to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Jiccarra N. Hollman. Go ahead and give people your social media information, shout outs, or any kind of last notes you guys would like to give. Go ahead and do that as well.
So my last note is to stop living to exist, start living on purpose, and you can do so with news on purpose. So my social media handles on Instagram, I am myself. I'm gonna spell my name for you. So it is JICCARRA. So at JICCARRA. And I don't have to give you anything after that because I'm sure I am the only speller. So once you put that in, I will pop up. On Facebook, I have several accounts, but the one that is most important is to follow a person, whether it's Jiccarra N. Hollman or Jiccarra N. Hollman. But please do also like and follow News on Purpose. And then I do have a new YouTube channel, and it is News on Purpose by Jiccarra N. Hollman. I'm waiting maybe a couple more days where I can just change it to News on Purpose so that it can be easy to find. But you know, as we're building, as we're buying back the block, it's important to uplift each other. And so a simple subscribe costs you absolutely nothing, but it means the world to little old artist me that is trying to grow and inform the community to make informed decisions. Thank you so much, Melody, for having me. Thank you. Thank you, every one of you guys, for what you have instilled and brought to this conversation, because I have gained so much value from just being in this conversation and getting to know all three. Well, it was 5 of us here at one point. So everyone that was on the platform, it's been of value.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, Jiccarra. I definitely appreciate you. And she's right, you guys. Subscribe is free. All it is a little tap. So subscribe to Jiccarra News on Purpose and subscribe to this channel too.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chosko. Go ahead and give your information if you have any last notes you'd like to leave with us with as well.
First and foremost, thank you again for allowing me on your platforms. I always appreciate you for looking out for the little guys. So thank you for that. Thank you guys for the good conversation, insight, and giving me some gems. I always appreciate that. Something that I could take in myself and further, my existence. You can find me at Chosko Music on everything. I might be changing everything because, like I said, as far as musically, I've just been shifting into other areas. But as for now, find me at Chosko Music, BHOSKO Music. That's across all platforms. And my last little note is just that be intentional, purposeful, as you said, and growth, and actually keep the momentum going with everything that people on right now. Keep the momentum going. Not let this moment come and go. Keep the momentum going and everything. Keep it right. That's it.
Right. Don't let it stop here.
Definitely. Definitely. Good. I love it. Thank you so much for that and for your information. Make sure you guys go follow everybody. And we have Yooda left. So Yooda, please, last but very not least.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you, Melody. You know, anytime you call, I got you, because the love's been real from day one. Y'all can all follow me on my social media pages. Instagram, Twitter, it's all Yooda21. That's YOODA21. On Facebook, it's also at Yooda. I also have a cooking show with my wife on Facebook. It's called Musical Aromas, where we sit down with the artists and, you know, we dive deep into the artist, who that person is, while cooking the meal. You know what I'm saying? And we also show a music video, and maybe from that artist or another artist edited that video. So we do that. So that's that Musical Aromas. You can follow that on Facebook. And also my album Dade is available now. I don't know if y'all can see it in my background, but it's DADE. It's available now on all platforms. Take a listen. It's actually a shortened history lesson of Miami, from all the way from the 60s until 2019. So it's a condensed history lesson, and you can kind of get an overview of what happened in my city for that time. We pretty much had a George Floyd situation back in the 80s, where these cops beat up this Navy veteran named Arthur McDuffie. So that started a big riot here back in the 80s, which, you know, when this thing happened, you know, now is the younger generation time to riot. So that was that, but all of that music is there. And I just want to say thank y'all for this conversation. I've been enlightened by everybody else also, and just want to stay in contact with you.
Dope. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Yooda. I appreciate that. It's been so great to have all of you here today, and just all the conversation is, man, it's good stuff. It's really good stuff, and I'm really glad that I had this combination of people here saying, like I said, the universe doesn't make any mistakes. So definitely connected with some really important things, and there's some great gems out there. So if you guys have a pen and paper in hand, we should have started this show. I should start every show with that. Grab a pen and paper. That's how I'm gonna start every show. I'm gonna start telling people to grab a pen and paper because it's about to get real. It's the juice. I understand the panelists. I'm the same. I'm over here with, yeah. I'm talking about the other people. They gotta grab your paper because
a notepad. If you don't got one, go ahead and just open that notes app.
Yeah. So I want to thank all of you who tuned in and listened to the show today. Thank you who came back and listened to the recorded version, like I used to say on Blog Talk. Everybody who come back and listen later on. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Yo, if you want to get your music on the juice, IAmMelodyWaters@gmail.com. Please send me MP3s. I don't click links, so don't even send it. Don't even bother with the link. So send MP3s. Make sure they're labeled properly so that I can also, give people the proper names and artists. Send me your artist name, social media information, where you're from. Also, cover art is dope because this is a visual show. I will use your cover art for your music while it's being played. So definitely want to do all that. And again, waters@gmail.com. I'll put it right here. It's also in the description below. All of the social media information for all of the panelists here is also in the description below if you're interested in finding any of them and supporting anything that they're doing. And please do that. Please do that. That's the whole point of the juice. If you come on the show, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an artist, if you've got a small business, come on the show. I'd love to have you. I'd love to have this panel discussion with you as well and your topic of discussion. So hit me up. I am Melody Waters everywhere on social media. Literally, I am Melody Waters. On what's that one thing called? Snapchat. Oh yeah. Snapchat, it's Melody's Closet. Okay. So you guys can check me out on Melody's Closet on Snapchat. Everywhere else is I Am Melody Waters. And so the Juice has a like page. Juice.melodywaters on Facebook, so you guys can go ahead and like that if you'd like. And stay in tune with the juice. If you liked what you saw here, it's going to be here every week, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as long as technology works with me. And so come back for more, hit the subscribe button and stay in tune. And we'll be back next week. Well, I'll be back with a new panel. So come back and check us out. Peace, y'all.
All right, have a good one.
Put some pants on now. Whole time.
Yes. Comfy, girl, comfy. Yes.
Those coronavirus meetings, you just have a nice top. No pants.
Stand up.
I gotta visit a coming in 17 minutes, so I'm gonna get off and put the pants on.
All right, y'all, man. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one.
So you too.
Peace.
Whatever the fuck she saying. Ooh, I got the juice. Come get the news on what's new. Music's not all that I do. I'm the influence. Once I get into my zone, there's nothing you really could do. Watch how they move. I'm setting trends. I'm better than I ever been. I represent. Make you not wanna rap ever again. In my prime like I'm optimist. Minnesota knows who the option is. No need for the gossiping. Get it from the soldiers, watch and listen. Had a whole town talking different, walking different. I walk the talk and I talk my shh. Keep quiet when I'm talking, kids. I'm the God, and God forbid you interrupt me. I cover blasphemy, my sinners trust me. Then it's back to cheese, one then it's just me. And all my hooligans, flush on my flesh, drink my blood like it's juice and gin. We're a family now, tie shoes and Timbs. It's a family meeting, try to attend. I'm a superhuman, I got super strength, I got super make you lose your shit now. I got the juice, come get the news on what's new. Music's not all that I do, I'm the influence. Once I get into my zone, there's nothing you really could do. Watch how they move, I'm setting trends. I'm better than I ever been. I represent. Make you not wanna rap ever again. I got the juice, come get the news on what's new. Music's not all that I do, I'm the influence. Once I get into my zone, there's nothing you really could do. Watch how they move, I'm setting trends. I'm better than I ever been. I represent. Make you not wanna rap ever again. Ho! Juice. Juice. Yeah. Juice. Make you not wanna rap ever again. Ho! Juice. Yeah. Juice. Hey. Juice. Make you not wanna rap ever again. Bye.